So the first item that we're going to assemble on our actual filling machine here is the additional air regulator valve that you received separately with your machine that actually connects to the side of the machine. Now, this air regulator valve is an in port as well as an out port. And if you look closely at it, you'll see that it's very clearly labeled. There's an in right under the in port and an out right under the out port. You want the out port to connect to this orange hose that is coming out the back of the machine here. You want this in port to connect to the air hose that we will eventually be connecting to our air compressor, which will supply air pressure into this regulator valve. So to begin, look at the top of your air regulator valve here, right at the black knob that's on the top of it, and you'll see a collar that can be turned off of it. You're going to completely unscrew the collar off, take it off, and then insert this air regulator valve from the bottom up into the bracket that's here to hold it, and then begin screwing the collar back down in place to hold it in place. Now that we have connected our air regulator valve completely to the side of our filling machine, what we're going to do is you're going to take that short orange hose, and sometimes it'll be clear, but for this one it's orange. There's a short hose that's coming out the back of your filling machine and connect it to the out port on the back of this air regulator valve. To do that, all you're going to do is push the hose firmly into the port until it snaps into place. You'll feel a little click, and then just pull back slightly to ensure that it's firmly secured inside of that port. Once you've verified that, we can move on to the next phase of our assembly process here, which is going to be connecting our air compressor to the filling machine as well as the supply tank via the supplied air hose that you will receive with your filling machine. Now, when you see this air hose, you'll be able to identify it by a few key features. Number one, it'll either have orange or clear tubing to it. Two, it will have a quick connect coupler on the end of it, as well as a Y valve right after it that will basically split into two air hoses. Now, one of these air hoses is going to run directly into your filling machine. So we're going to go ahead and connect that air hose first. Again, all you're going to do is take that one air hose and plug it into the in port of your air regulator valve here. Press in firmly until you hear it click, then pull out slightly just to ensure that the fit is tight and secure. Now, we're going to take our other hose, open-ended part, from our Y valve and connect it here to the top of the air regulator valve on top of our supply tank. Again, press in firmly until you hear it click into place, pull out slightly to confirm that it is secure, and now we can move on to our final portion of assembly. So now that we've connected our air hose to both the supply tank air regulator valve as well as the filling machine's air regulator valve, we are going to connect the final end of it, which has this quick connect coupler onto it, into our air compressor. And it's very much a simple matter of just taking this connector and plugging it right into the coupler port at the very front of your air compressor. It snaps into place with a quick push in, again pulled out very quickly just to check that it's securely mated. And once it's in and connected to your air compressor, you pretty much have a fully assembled system, save for one other piece. And that is our handheld controller.